So, if you don't know this about me, I like to learn from others' mistakes as well as my own. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm gonna learn from others' mistakes, I gotta find people who are making mistakes. Preferably people who are making mistakes and the same type of interest as me, like content creation or like music. I want to make sure if I build a fan base on whatever I do, I don't want to lose them. Like Baby No Money. Let me show you why Baby No Money's audience is betraying him. This video is by Internet Anarchist. So as always, links will be in the description below. Let's find out. Let's get it. I'm gonna learn from his mistakes and make sure I don't make the same one. Wait, hold on. Let me reserve my like.
Everyone has a mask they show to the world. That's just
Everybody has a mask they show to the world. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's a Japanese proverb that states, everybody has three masks. The first mask you show to the world. The second mask you show to your close friends and family. And the third mask you never show anyone. Think about it. Marinate on that. You know it's true.
just part of being human. There's a version of you that people see, and then there's who you are when you're alone. Maybe you act a little differently when you're with friend group A compared to when you're with friend group B. Maybe you remove a few words from your vocabulary when you're in polite company and not cracking a cold one with the boys. Everyone has masks, but for the most part, people still stick to their core values and beliefs regardless of whatever mask they wear. But what happens when you don't? What if someone builds an image that doesn't reflect what they actually believe at all, just to make as much money as possible? Meet BBNO, a Canadian rapper and singer known for being very outspoken on progressive issues. He's been especially vocal about supporting artists and pushing back against AI.
Okay. Why are there so many mad AI artists in my DM?
He's taken strong public stances, even going as far as removing Asmongold from one of his music videos.
That's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm guessing it's because Asmongold has a different stance on him. Maybe when it comes to AI, or AI images or some shit. I don't know. But obviously he has a different stance on him and something, right? But what? And why go as far as to block his face from one of your music videos? Kind of crazy, bro.
However, recently, he's been criticized for not properly crediting or compensating artists he's worked with, which clashes pretty hard with the image he's been putting out. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today, we're going to be covering BBNO, an internet rapper.
Oh yeah, if you know why BBNO doesn't like Asmongold anymore, let me know in the comments below. Thanks.
Who's been under fire from every direction over the past few months. This is the story of a creator who attached his gold-plated mask with Gorilla Glue, only to realize that masks eventually crack. BBNO's real name is Alex, and it's how I'm going to refer to him from now on, because BBNO is really annoying to say out loud. For those of you who don't know, Alex is a hugely popular rapper who's built—
This is the first time I heard somebody say that. Like, be like, yo, I'm tired. I don't even want to say his name. Let me just call him by his real name. I don't even want to say that fucking stage name bullshit. It's just annoying. Let me call him by his real name. Okay, think TBYS. Think before you sleep. Or no, sorry, this is Internet Anarchist. My bad. Okay, Internet Anarchist.
Built a reputation as someone who doesn't sell out. By 2024 and into early 2025, that image was paying off in a big way. He had over 14.6 million monthly listeners on Spotify, over 1 billion streams on his song La La La, a Juno Awards win, sold out tours, and a really dedicated fan base. We don't need to go through his whole career step by step, but it's worth saying this clearly. He's a big name. Even if you haven't heard of him, this isn't some random guy uploading songs online. He's packing venues and performing in front of thousands of people. What actually makes him interesting isn't the usual career timeline, it's his mask. the version of himself he presents to the world. Like I mentioned earlier, Alex is very outspoken when it comes to progressive issues. LGBTQ topics, anti-ICE sentiments, things broadly in that lane. If it's even slightly progressive, there's a good chance he's talked about it publicly or brought it into his shows. A lot of that public image rests on a few key ideas. He's very
So he's like a company. It's to me it sounds like he's like a company. You know how companies they'll always celebrate every, holiday type thing, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe not holiday, but like all the little celebrations that not everybody knows about. You know what I'm saying? Like, isn't there a month or a day for like trans, like celebration of trans people or something like that? Like companies will put up the celebration, the decorations for that type of thing, even if they don't actually agree with it. They just want, it's cool to like this right now, so let me like it. Let me show that I like it, even if I don't actually like it. So that feels like the same as, Alex, I think, whatever Internet Anarchist said his name was. This guy. See, it seems to feel like the same thing that he's doing.
Vocal about being against AI-generated content and says he supports real artists. He also would make a statement reading, "I am becoming progressively more worried for our humanity due to extensively edifying improvements to AI-generated content media. From blatant misinformation to even the recent commercial adaptations of AI. Please be wary with what you see or hear online. AI sucks and we need to stand up against it." The second pillar of his success is his perceived knowledge of internet culture, video games, and stuff like that, especially streamers like Pokimane and Asmongold. Back in 2024, before Asmongold started shifting into more political content, Alex was openly a fan. He even got a tattoo of him and showed it off during a show.
This question is fucking Asmongold, baby! I love my parents, don't forget to Twitch Prime sub.
That version of things didn't last. This channel spends a lot of time talking about image, the version of yourself you project online.
Nah, hold on, bro. I can't let that pass by. If you like, you don't even know, he doesn't even know the guy personally. He watches him stream. He only knows him from when he's on the screen. He doesn't know what he's like behind the camera when the camera's off. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, it's gotta be like a fake tattoo, right? Or like couldn't be a real, like, I don't know. Like he just puts his face on his body. Bro, that's weird. Like, nah, fam. Why would somebody do that? I just don't understand. I do not understand. That's kind of like, if you're gonna put something on your body, especially if you're gonna put it on your body and then to be permanent, at least let it have meaning. Like, not just because you think it's cool. Like, let it have a good meaning, like a deep meaning, not just, this is my favorite streamer. Come on, bro. You didn't even know that guy. You didn't even know Asmongold. I don't know, bro. That's weird to me. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And would you ever get a tattoo of the favorite person that you haven't met and probably will never meet? Have you ever gotten a tattoo of their face on you? Some of you said yes. That's weird as fuck. But I respect it. Still weird though.
The branding, the reputation, the way people package themselves for an audience. But honestly, I've always thought the details that exist off camera matter just as much. And for me, one of those details has always been fragrance. I've been into scents for a long time because it's one of those small things that can completely change how you feel when you're working, going out, or just trying to feel more put together. So big thank you to today's sponsor Scentbird for making this easy. The problem is that building a fragrance collection becomes expensive of fast, especially when you don't want to blind buy a full bottle for $150, only to realize a week later that it doesn't actually fit you. That's why Scentbird makes a lot of sense, pun intended. It's a fragrance subscription service that lets you explore niche and designer scents without committing to full bottles. Each month, you choose from over 900 authentic fragrances, and Scentbird sends you an 8ml vial, which lasts about 30 days or around 120 sprays. This month, I've been trying Twin Flame by 5 Cents, Sugar Daddy by Fugazi, The One for Men by Dolce & Gabbana.
Is it Fugazi or Fugazi? Sounds like, I mean, I'm guessing it's spelled like it would be pronounced Fugazi.
And my favorite, Vetiver in Wool by Scents of Wood. It's been a great way to test different scents for different moods, routines, and settings. Right now, you can use my code Anarchist2 or scan the QR code on screen to get 55% off your first month at Scentbird. That means your first fragrance is only about $8.97, and your next month is only $17.95. Use the link in the description and code Anarchist2 at checkout, and let's get on with the video.
I remember I used to watch his videos for a while. When I first saw his face, like what he looks like, I was like, oh shit. Because for a while it used to be like, there was no face. Like it was just a faceless channel. Then he started he kind of just did a reveal without saying, here's my reveal. At least as far as I know. And yeah, now I was like, damn, I didn't know he looked like that. Huh. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. That was about it.
Not long after, anything related to that got wiped from his socials, but that cleanup didn't happen fast enough to keep it out of his 2025 music video for Mary Poppins. The video opens with a disclaimer saying, "At the time of recording, I was unaware of certain individuals' ethical beliefs. As a result, I've chosen to censor those whose values I do not support." Then, it cuts to a guy sitting on a throne with a lizard covering his face, very clearly being Asmongold. If you watch the video, it's actually kind of funny how much focus he gets. He's all over it, to the point where he almost feels like the main character instead of Alex. People picked up on that right away, and it quickly became the main thing everyone was talking about, more so than the song itself. What made this even more revealing was who he didn't censor. Mizkif was also in the video, and he had his own well-documented history of using slurs and even faced domestic. And
I hit the mic. My bad. Hold on. Is the mic still working? Yeah. Sorry about that. So, was Mizkif really in that shit? Hold up.
Main character instead of Alex. He's all over it, to the point where he almost feels.
Is that him right there on the right? Like, right in front of Asmongold, the lizard guy, the lizard person that's right there. He's covering Asmongold's face with the lizard. And then Mizkif is right there. Is that somebody? Is that supposed to be somebody too over there? On the far right?
Feels like the main character instead of Alex. People picked up on that right away, and it quickly became the main thing everyone was talking about, more so than the song itself. What made this even more revealing was who he didn't censor. Mizkif was also in the video, and he had his own well-documented history of using slurs and even faced domestic abuse allegations.
Yep.
But none of that got the same treatment. Many have pointed out that Alex only seemed to act against people whose controversies had enough public visibility to create a PR problem. Regardless of what people thought, this is a perfect example of how Alex operates when it comes to anything political. He used to be.
What the fuck is that picture, by the way? Like, dude's got bedazzled beads or whatever. He bedazzled his face. It looks weird. Looks weird. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if I like it. And he also like colored his eyes, like the areas around his eyes. Like for those of you who are just listening, the left side is green, like the less space around his eyes is green, and the right side is pink. And like his face is like bedazzled with like just very light colored beads. Like there's pinks, there's blues, there's yellows, there's greens. You know what I'm saying? There's whites. I don't know if I like it, bro. I don't think I like it.
a perfect example of how Alex operates when it comes to anything political. He used to be a fan of someone and could have even believed in some of the stuff Asmongold was saying, but instead of just owning it, he immediately folded to the extremely performative audience that he had created. This is his MO, and as we'll see going forward, it's what caused what happened a few months later. Most artists follow a pretty predictable path when they blow up. They get picked up by a label, marketing kicks in, and suddenly they're everywhere, whether you were looking for them or not. Alex didn't come up like that. His rise was way more internet native. He built his name in the trenches of Twitter, TikTok, and direct collaborations. Instead of waiting for industry cosigns, he leaned into viral culture. It felt organic, like he was part of the same internet ecosystem as everyone else, instead of sitting above it. And for a while, that approach worked almost perfectly. It gave him a kind of credibility that a lot of bigger artists don't have. He wasn't just another
Okay, but why do you have bodybuilders coming up behind you and just flexing?
industry
Do you think having Asmongold on your stomach, on the front of your body, like on the entire your upper body, is like a flex? And so the you got like bodybuilders behind you flexing to represent the flex that is having Asmongold painted on your body?
product. He was one of us, or at least that's how it came across. But once you start looking closer, the cracks begin to show. This all started with an artist named Raisame, who got contacted by Alex's team for an animation meme. This was their first real commission, so naturally they were excited. Getting noticed by someone at that level feels like a huge opportunity, especially when you're just starting out. The problem is, they didn't even talk about payment up front. That alone is a massive mistake in any kind of creative work. Usually rates are discussed before anything starts. That way both sides know what they're agreeing to. In this case, the artist went ahead and made the animation without locking that in. Once the work was finished, the offer finally came in, around $100. Now, if you know anything about animation, you already know that's low. Like, really, really low. And it wasn't until the artist talked to friends that it fully clicked how much of an underpayment that was. They pushed back a bit, asked for more, and the team raised it slightly to around $150.
Why would he tell that to BBNO Money, his client? Why would he tell that to him? That's how the pricing goes. But I was saddened by it, question mark. And I asked my friends if it's okay. They said no. I should ask them. If I can increase at least $150 to $200. They paid me $150, but I think it's very underpriced. My Facebook friends made me realize that I guess I was just scared and blinded. Okay, so he's just confessing to some shit. He didn't. This is not him telling this shit to BBNO Money. He's just telling the story to the internet. Okay, cool.
That's still nowhere near what that kind of work usually goes for. To be clear, they did get paid. This isn't a situation where someone just didn't get anything. But focusing only on that misses the bigger issue. The process itself was messy. No clear agreement, low initial offer, and a new artist being put in a position where they didn't really know how to advocate for themselves. Now, compare that to the second situation, which is where things really start to blow up. Another artist gets commissioned. This time, more experienced, someone who already has an established rate. For this kind of animation, they usually charge around $700. When Alex's team reaches out, they say they can only do half. And this is where the whole exposure angle comes in. They finish the animation, send it over, and expect the usual deal. A repost, some engagement, something to push their work out to a bigger audience. That never really happens. The post doesn't get boosted the way the other animations did. There was no meaningful follow-through. From the artist's perspective, the whole reason they accepted a lower rate just vanished. So they reach out. At first, they're just trying to understand what went wrong. Did they...
Bruh. It kind of pisses me off, man. I already forgot what I was gonna say.
They missed something? Was there an issue with the animation? But instead of getting a clear answer, they're met with silence. Eventually, there's some communication with the social media manager, but it doesn't resolve much. The responses were vague, kind of dismissive, and didn't really match what was originally implied.
Alright, it says, starting with April, she says, hi, hello. Slade.coom says, hey, April says, I'm sorry about Alex not interacting with the animation yet. We are a bunch of different things. I'll make sure he gets to it today. And we did love the animation. Slade.com says, okay, but he unfollowed me yesterday. April says, I'm sorry that it seems like we didn't do to him not interacting with you or with it yet. Yes, he told me about that. He didn't realize you were an NSFW account, and I guess he kept seeing NSFW stuff on his something timeline, whatever. That's not timeline. It doesn't say timeline, but it says something good. So with that, he unfollowed you. He unfollowed you, artist. He unfollowed you, artist. You were one of his favorite animations during this rollout of CTB animations. I apologize. There should have been a heads up or something. And I also understand your frustration.
Then comes the explanation. They're told that Alex didn't realize the artist made not safe for work content, and that after following them, more of that content started showing up. According to the artist, this wasn't hidden information, it was clear from the start. So now the situation shifts. It's no longer just about money or exposure, it starts looking like someone was fine to work with behind the scenes, but not okay to publicly associate with once their content didn't fit a certain image. Keep in mind, a major part of Alex's whole brand is built around supporting artists. The artist in this situation kept trying to get some kind of resolution, sending follow-ups, asking direct questions, and trying to get clarity, but nothing really ever came of it. This is what caused them to quote tweet one of Alex's tweets, essentially saying that if you're a not safe for work artist, don't collaborate with him. What made this hit even harder was the double standard. The artist pointed out that Alex regularly collaborates with and pays OF models significantly more for his content, reportedly around $2,000.
Wait. He pays OF model. Why is everybody collabing with OF models, bro? Holy shit. It's not like it's a necessity in life, and we're in the industry of streaming and shit like that. Unless your fucking management or whatever is it's like, hey, we need you to do this thing for this OF shit, and we're gonna make a lot of money from it. But we need you to do this thing. We need you to do a stream with her. Damn, that sucked.
Per collaboration, while using not safe for work content as the reason he couldn't even repost their animation. That contradiction is really what turned this from a minor dispute into something that stuck. This post would completely blow up, and even get Alex's original tweet about supporting artists community nerded. Finally, vindication on this performative asshole. Sucks this happened to you, and I hope you get something out of this, but now you see who he truly is. After the backlash hit, Alex reached out himself, apologized, and offered to pay the full rate instead of the discounted one. On paper, that sounds like the situation should have been resolved, but by that point, the damage had already been done. The artist turned it down, making it clear that they were no longer interested in the money. What they wanted instead was a public acknowledgement that matched the scale of what really had happened, and that never came. From there, the situation started to spread. Screenshots were posted, including DMs and emails, and more pieces of the interaction began circulating online. As that happened, other artists started sharing their own experiences, and a pattern began to take shape. People talked about low offers, inconsistent communication, and a heavy reliance on exposure as part of the pitch. There were also complaints that engagement seemed to depend on how well a post performed than on any kind
Hold up. I just found out he haggled an artist down 50% of their original prices, and decided to not even give the exposure class interaction to the work as promised. So Baby No Money, pretty much. What I'm getting is he's pretty much someone who says they're against AI art, and yet when it comes to paying actual artists that he works with that create art for him, he either doesn't pay them properly or doesn't give them the recognition that he promised to give. No shout outs, no nothing, no engagement, no exposure. He just uses them pretty much. And doesn't, it looks like most of the time he doesn't even pay them their full price, or he tries to pay them, in different prices than what they want. Interesting. Interesting.
Kind of consistent support from Alex or his team. I've seen him commission a ton of people, including a friend of mine, and only offering like $100. It's made me a bit uncomfortable how low the price
It feels a bit hypocritical for some reason.
he gave was. At the same time, it was not completely one-sided. Some artists came forward and said they had genuinely good experiences. They described being paid fairly, having clear communication, and running into no issues at all. As one of the animators he has commissioned, I can confirm that I was paid. Mistakes can happen, and by the looks of it, Baby No Money tried to make it right. Alex eventually addressed everything publicly. There is conversation regarding me not paying creatives for commissions. One individual has been relentlessly harassing me because of an oversight on me not reposting their content. A month ago, I offered to pay his full rate and formally apologized for being unable to repost his content to lead my audience to find his page. It was a fundamental oversight on my behalf, although they haven't stopped harassing me. I have never not paid out animators. I have commissioned thousands of artists, and I will continue to commission more because I believe in propelling art forward. From his point of view, it came across as a mistake that had been blown out of proportion. From the outside, though, it did not feel that simple. When someone builds their image around supporting artists, speaking out against AI, and doing things the right way, people are naturally going to hold them to a higher standard. There is less room for inconsistency and less willingness to brush things off as minor mistakes. That is really what all of this comes down to. It's not just about whether artists were paid, it is about whether the way they were treated actually lined up with the image being presented to millions of people. From an outsider's perspective, it looks like Alex was just saying all of those things to build a brand of fans and profit off of them instead of genuinely believing it. After the artists Alex had commissioned started speaking up, that was basically the moment where anything even remotely tied to him started getting picked apart.
So he just uses people. He just uses He's like, boo AI. Oh, y'all like that? Y'all like that? Perfect. Give me your money, bitch. You know what I'm saying? He just uses people.
More artists came forward saying he hadn't properly credited them, and it wasn't just people on Twitter either. Other TikTok creators started calling him out too, accusing him of straight up plagiarism. One of the bigger ones was a creator named Dearest Sinner, who made a video saying Alex never credited her as the inspiration. If you actually look at both videos side by side, it's pretty obvious what happened. Alex clearly saw her original post and decided to run with the same idea. It's basically the exact same video, just swapped out with him dressed as Leon in a thong. There's not really any subtlety here. Eventually, he did update his Instagram bio to credit her, and Sinner even acknowledged that in a tweet. But she also pointed out that he never fixed the TikTok's description, which is the one that actually blew up and got way more views. Side note, these TikToks he makes are wild on their own. Most of them are him cross-dressing, sometimes even as characters like Pomni or Leon.
I'm fat, I'm skinny, I'm ugly, I'm pretty.
Bro, what the fuck am I watching right now? What the fuck is this? Like, I guess no wonder when his fans found out like he was doing all this shit and especially screwing over the artists that work with him or that work for him, pretty much. Like, no wonder he's losing a shit ton of fucking fans and his audience is betraying him. No wonder, bro. It's okay. So basically, what I learned from this so far, since I'm trying to make sure I learn from all of his mistakes, don't be an asshole. That's it. That's it. Just like say what you mean what you say, be real, don't be an asshole. Shocker. That's it. Okay. I don't know why everybody can't do that. That shit's easy.
I'm weird.
A few months later, another wave of backlash hit when a tweet went viral accusing him of being racist along with an audio clip that supposedly had him saying the N-word. The clip got passed around like crazy, but the situation behind it was a complete mess with people twisting things and straight up lying. The only part that actually matters is that it wasn't even him in the audio, and he came out and said that directly. These songs are not mine, guys. That is 61 Banks, an artist I signed 7 years ago to my defunct record label. At that point, even Alex himself was acknowledging how much hate was coming his way. He started posting about it both on Twitter and TikTok, reacting to everything that had been piling up around him. It's important to keep in mind here that even with all of this going on, Alex is still doing completely fine career-wise. His tour is still happening, his performances are still moving forwards like nothing ever happened, and if anything, the numbers show that he's actually more relevant right now than he's been for a while.
Then how's his audience betraying him? Or I mean, okay, so they're betraying him, but he's not like falling off. Like they're not. Yeah, they're talking shit about him. They're betraying him by talking shit about him, but he's still getting, clicks, likes, views, new fans. So I guess the win for him. This is one of those rare cases where one of those sayings are true. Like the saying, all press is good press. Like, all right, like even bad press. You know what I'm saying? For Baby No Money, it's actually working for him right now. He's literally living that saying. Okay, good shit, bro. Congrats.
The spike he got in March from all of this drama basically proves that. But honestly, that's not even the point here. If we're being real, this whole controversy barely even deserves that label. Most of it is just people blowing shit way out of proportion. I seriously doubt Alex was sitting there like some cartoon villain rubbing his hands together and laughing about underpaying artists. When you commission over 100 people, yeah, some things—
I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. Like, how do you fuck that up? Like, it should be recorded, or I'm sure you're in a chat with them. You have written documentation of the conversation between you and the artist. Like, I'm sure you can look it up, or just be like, yo, how much did I say I was gonna pay them, and then find it and pay them that money. Like, how do you be like, oh man, I just didn't know I was who I was supposed to pay what? It was a mistake. How does that happen?
Are going to fall through the cracks. That's just how it works. And if we're talking about 1 or 2 people out of that many, that's not some insane failure. That's a relatively normal margin of error, whether people want to admit it or not. What this actually comes down to is the kind of audience that latches onto stuff like this and runs with it. The real issue is the image he built and how clean and polished it was. When you present yourself as someone who never has any controversy, never messes up, and never does anything wrong, you're basically setting yourself up for this exact situation. You created this version of yourself that isn't even realistic, and then the second something small comes out, people lose their minds over it, because it doesn't match the perfect version they had in their head. That's why the reaction feels so over the top. It's not really about what he did, it's about the fact that it broke the illusion. People had already decided who he was supposed to be, and anything that doesn't line up with that hits way harder than it normally would. Meanwhile, creators who have always been a little messy don't get hit the same, because nobody expected perfection from them in the first place. The funny part is that a little bit of controversy actually helps. It makes you look like a real person instead of some fake, untouchable version of one. The people who actually get wrecked by scandals aren't the ones who slip up once in a while, they're the ones who spend years pretending they never would. Pokimane being a perfect example, who Alex has even collaborated
Oh shit. He called out Pokimane.
with in the past. At the end of the day, Alex
Hopefully he don't end up like It's a Gundam. When It's a Gundam called out Pokimane, she came after It's a Gundam's sponsors. In a video that she made, she talked about she said things like and for and shame to the companies that want to sponsor someone like him who makes a blank long minute video talking crap about me. And so like his sponsors or It's a Gundam sponsors pulled from what they were gonna work with him with. And if you don't believe me, look it up yourself. That shit is ridiculous, bro. Yeah, let's finish up the video. It's almost done.
will most likely be fine financially and have a very successful music career going forwards. But he is the definition of being captured by your audience, and he is at the mercy of whether or not he can keep up the facade for long enough. If I were a betting man, I would bet that he will be held to higher and soon impossible to maintain ethical standards by the very mob he currently wishes to please. Then he'll make a mistake and they will devour him with glee.
Yo, like I don't know, bro. If what he like if he is actually getting away, or saying getting away with like not paying some of the artists he works with on purpose, then what next? You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems influencers who finally get into a spotlight, it seems they always wanna scam their audience. And it's like, WTF, bro. I don't know why people just can't be good to kind to other people. Like, it's kind of easy. It doesn't cost anything. It's just like, yo, let me just treat you like I would want somebody to treat me. That's it. Anyway, that's all for this video. Let me know what you thought about it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace. Much love to you.